Moving on from last night's exciting encounter with Somo, we're back here again at Michigan for the Go Fast Racing League Grand National Series. The Xfinity cars coming live to you at the Midwest track, 2 miles long. Sam Cooper Bennett in the booth with you tonight. Joined again with me is Mr. Scott Brinson, and back with us in the booth after a couple of weeks out is Mr. Tony Trabasso. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, Sam. Glad to be back in the booth with you, and it's good to see old Tony back in the saddle again.
I don't know about being back in the saddle, but I do know that I can definitely say you never realize how much you need your knees till you can't use one.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But regardless, Tony, it's good to see you back here and using a different headset tonight. That's probably why to you guys he sounds a bit different. But regardless, he's here. He's going to be watching the race with us. He's going to be calling the race with us, and at the moment unable to broadcast himself, but will be back in the saddle very soon, I can assure you of that. Well, guys, moving on from last night's race in Somo, an exciting race last night, but do you reckon we can expect the same tonight with the Go Fast guys?
Yeah, I'd probably expect just about the same as what we got last night. Looking at the times, everybody's probably 4/10 of each other, so I imagine we're going to have a lot of pack racing out there, and we're going to see a lot of passing, and we're going to see guys taking chances. It's only a 100-lap race, so it's not nowhere near as long as last night's race, so I think you'll see guys starting to take the chances a lot sooner.
Well, anytime you come to the House of Penske, Bill, you know, it's hard to not have dramatic finishes because this track is so wide. There's so many different lanes that you can take through the corners. You know, you're going to see 2 and 3 wide a lot of tonight, and unfortunately, I fear that turn 2 is going to be the corner that bites you a lot, because that's generally the corner that gets the sun most of the day. It's the one it faces the east, so the sun's just beating down on the exit of 1 and 2 all day long, and with the track temperature where it's sitting right now. It's going to be hard to find grip off of too.
Absolutely, and with the new the shadow model that they implemented on Tuesday, along with the other things that they implemented, we'll go through that again later in the race. But yeah, no stages tonight, so it's just going to be straight out racing for 100 laps. But anyway, before we go to tonight's qualifying, let's go through a couple of sponsors here. First, want to give our ongoing support to Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness, PH Aware. Pulmonary hypertension, one of the most difficult to diagnose diseases out in the medical profession. If you want more information, or if you want to throw out a donation, then please do not hesitate to go to PH Aware, Dark Global. Also want to give a shout out to PZ Overlays. If you want an overlay like the one you see in tonight's broadcast, then go to Mr. Paul Zota. That's PZ Overlays. You'll find him on Facebook. Before we go to tonight's race show, let's go through the points tonight, Scott. It's a bit of a different story out there in the Go Fast championship table compared to Somo.
Yeah, after 11 races, Joe Burchett comes into tonight after winning 3 races this season as your points leader. He's got a good-sized lead, 42-point lead over Dylan Vose, who sits in second. Michael Trevathan, he was a points leader earlier in the year. He's back in third currently. Brian Littleton up a spot to 4th. Tyler Cox fell a spot to 5th. Austin Marion 6th. Skylar Allen Sr. 7th. Jeff Woopker 8th. David Worrell 9th. And Jeff Schmidt rounds out the top 10.
Now, one person I want to give a mention to is Brandon Puffenbarger. He's been fastest in the hot lap sessions tonight, but he's missed a few races this season. I can't help but think that if he didn't miss these few races here this season, he would be right up there battling in the top 5 and maybe even pointing his way into the chase a lot easier than he is. I mean, he's down there in the 13th spot. He's right on, almost on the bubble to being knocked out of the chase, but hopefully he's going to change that tonight when he's when we go green here at Michigan.
Well, it's kind of hard to count him out because we've seen him be strong most of the season, earlier in the season, the races that he did make. The two races, or 3 races now, 4 races that he's missed. Is he's got 8 starts to Brian Littleton, who hasn't missed a race yet. Puffenbarger would be solidly in the top 10 if he hadn't missed those 4 races.
Absolutely, and definitely, as you already mentioned, Brandon Puffenbarger cannot be counted out here in the Grand National Series. Well, let's go to our main view here tonight as we have qualifying underway right now. Not really seeing anybody out on track right now, but
there's still about 30 sequends left in hot laps from what I'm seeing.
No, they're in qualifying now.
No, they are in qualifying. I stand corrected.
Yeah, as we're looking at Jeff Schmidt just making his way out on track there. Just want to give another mention about the blend line that's been implemented in iRacing, Tony. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you think it's going to affect these guys tonight?
To be honest with you, I've been, because of what has happened to my knee, they've had me so drugged up at the hospital that I don't know what's all new with that blend line. So if you could explain it to both me and our newer fans, I'd be appreciative.
Well, the blend line is to stop people from coming out on the track too early. Basically, it's a new rule implemented by iRacing, so you do not cross that yellow line on the exit of pit road. So you can basically so no
more Kevin LePage moments?
No more Kevin LePage moments. You basically have to follow the yellow line all the way out into the backstretch. And there's a blue cone just by the end of the yellow line where you can it actually tells you where you can blend. And yeah, if you cross that yellow line, it will ding you for 15 seconds in a race.
Good.
Yeah.
It should. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm glad to see iRacing's finally implemented. Is I just watched Brian Littleton go to the top of the board by over a tenth.
Yeah, I mean, last night Shane Papala was the guinea pig for that in Somo last night, and he got hit pretty hard, didn't he, last night, Scott?
Yeah, it cost him a whole bunch of track position, fell to the back, and that led to disaster back there. He wound up being the second car out of the race.
Yeah, and that was a big hit as well. Just want to give a shout out to one of the drivers that was involved there. He was ended up taken to the medical centre after hitting Shane Papala's car at full speed on the backstretch last night. He has made a full recovery. He's absolutely fine. So no dramas there.
Let me pose this question: does it give you a 15-second slowdown, or does it just make you do a stop and go?
It makes you do a stop and go, 15 seconds.
Well, that's a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not going to follow the rules, it's going to ding you quite hard, and Shane Papala definitely felt the sting on that rule last night. But anyway, let's go focus on the qualifying here. Lee Grandy going up third fastest here in qualifying. Great to see him up there.
I'm still trying to get over the fact that Brian Littleton is over a tenth quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. As I'm just going to step away from qualifying for a second now. As Tony, you have something to mention before we go to tonight's national anthem.
Well, I did want to mention that, today is Women in Armed Forces Day, and it kind of has a special meaning in my heart because my hero growing up was always my cousin Deb, who is now Staff Sergeant retired from the U.S. Army, Deborah Rome. So I got to give a shout out to all the ladies who have served in the armed forces for us. Your service is greatly appreciated by all of us here at Bofa Broadcasting.
Absolutely, and to celebrate that, we are going to go to our national anthem now. As we just ask you to kindly stand on your feet, remove your hats, as we are going to go and celebrate tonight's national anthem. And that was tonight's national anthem, brought to you by one veteran himself, Mr. Terry Adams. Joining us in the booth right now is league owner, Mr. No, he was in the booth, Mr. Skylar Allen. I think it was just to update us on a couple of penalties that have been handed out. The 45 of David Worrell and the 57 of Kyle Frame will be receiving EOLs when they go to the when they start pacing due to not meeting practice requirements. But before that, we're going to go to our grid for tonight before they start rolling. Starting up in the front row with a very surprising pole position of over 1/10 of a second ahead of Aaron Fowler. Those two guys, Brian Littleton and Aaron Fowler, will be starting on row 1. Row 2 will be Lee Grandy and Joe Bichette. Row 3 will be Adam Chapman and Kyle Frame. Well, Kyle Frame will be put to the back of the field, so he won't be there for long. Row 4 will be Tyler Cox and Jeremy Rigney. And row 5 will be Robert Dudley and Brandon Puffenbarger.
Michael Trevathan will start 11th. Jeff Schmidt rolls off 12th. Landon Lacey 13th. Derek Pemberton rolls off 14th. Austin Marion 15th. Nate Catilia starts 16th. David Worrell 17th. Skylar Allen Sr. 18th. And Eric Minch will roll off 19th as Ryan Robertson is no longer in the room.
No, Ryan Robertson, one of the drivers, actually took part in Somo's race last night. Wasn't expecting him to be here, but yeah, just going back over that, the 45 of David Worrell and the 57 of Kyle Frame being put to the back of the field for not meeting practice requirements, guys.
Well, I mean, the rules are the rules, and they want these guys to have at least, I believe it's 30 laps of practice, which at that point you're looking at most of a fuel run and definitely a tire run, so that these drivers can be prepared to understand what the car is going to do, if we do get a long green flag run. So I have to commend the league management for doing that.
Absolutely, and the guys are pacing now. Brian Littleton sitting on the front row there. Aaron Fowler on the outside of the front row. But watch for the second row. That is Joe Bichette, last week's winner at Pocono. He'll be making his way to the front as quickly as possible. Lee Grandy having such great runs lately. He's on the second row too. Adam Chapman and Jeremy Rigney on the third row. Jeremy Rigney we've not seen much of in the last few races, but definitely going to be trying to make a name for himself in that number 11 car. He's waiting for the pace car to peel off now as he's going to make that hard left turn. There he goes. The field is in control of Brian Littleton's hands, and away we go. 100 laps here at Michigan underway in the Go Fast Grand National Series, as Aaron Fowler already looking to the outside and trying to make a pass on Brian Littleton.
They go too wide into turn number 1, side by side. You can't even get a piece of paper between those two.
Yeah, so here comes.
And they're almost 3 wide for 5th right now.
Yeah, it's Joe.
They were 3 wide in the back. I think they are right now.
Yeah, that is. It looks like Robert Dudley, Michael Trevathan, and Aaron Schmidt in the 3 wide situation back there. Robert Dudley trying to get his way forward as quickly as possible. Was actually the slowest in hard lap sessions as Aaron Fowler moves to the front very quickly.
Littleton keeps his foot in it and leads lap number 1.
Yeah, Aaron Fowler gets by him just before turn 1. As here comes Joe Bichette, already dispatched of Lee Grandy. Now powers his way past Brian Littleton and already looking for the lead now as he closes down on Aaron Fowler.
As a standard operating procedure here at the house that Penske built, that second line is going to be advantageous. They're going to need to get a lot of rubber laid down on that low line to get it really worked in for later in these runs.
Because he just lost coming off too. He's back there towards the end of the pack now because he was headed for that inside wall in the backstretch. He did a good job of catching it before he got all the way down there.
Absolutely. Jeff Schmidt already having troubles here at Michigan. One of the rookies here, Nate Catila, making his debut here tonight. He's third from last, just riding behind Skylar Allen right now. Skylar Allen running a new paint scheme there. Because he's a newest team Overtake Motorsports new member. He's now running a.
Bichette just bombed it on Fowler going into 3, and we've got a new leader across the stripe.
But only just there, as Aaron Fowler did manage to keep it wound up on the inside. They're still side by side as they go into turn 1. Aaron Fowler Gonna get the dive bomb going into turn 1, almost banging doors as they go into turn 2. Joe Burchett still keeping it slightly wound up on the high side, but they're still side by side as they come down the backstretch.
The only thing you're going to do on the low side this early in the race is just burn all of the goodie off those tires down low. Especially going through the 1-2 complex, because that's, like we were talking in the pre-race, that's where all the sun's beaten down. That's where, you know, the track is going to be the hottest. It's going to be the slickest. And good grief. 11 one-thousandths of a second at the line for Fowler.
Then they're getting ever closer as they bang doors again going through turn 1. There's only so many times you can do that before disaster happens. And look behind them. Adam Chapman's actually closed in on them while they were battling it out through turns 1 and 2.
Adam Chapman's shown in the past that he's definitely no slouch, especially when it comes to the Go Fast Grand National Series.
He's also the reigning official iRacing Indy 500 champion as well, so definitely knows how to win a race here on this simulator. As he moves to the inside, he's going to get a 2 for here. They're 3 wide across the line. Adam Chapman already making the power move down the bottom of the track, and Aaron Fowler 3 wide. You're the meat, sir.
What a move, man. What a move.
That's it.
And here comes Tyler Cox as well.
Tyler Cox wants to get in on the action as there's a 4-car battle for the lead now. Brian Littleton slowly closing in with Jeremy Rigney and Lee Grandy behind him as well. As they're 3 wide again, banging doors, and Burchett's in the wall. No, Fowler's in the wall. Burchett just misses, but Fowler, the biggest loser out of that one, as they went 3 wide once too many times.
Yeah, that hurt. He's going to lose a lot of track position and a lot of positions.
Yeah, same for Joe Burchett. Joe Burchett is dropping through the field like a stone as well. I believe he might have damage from that collision with Fowler as he's dropped down to 7th place.
Oh, we got 16 in the wall. Sorry, Sam. 16's in the wall. Nose first.
And that is Derek Pemberton in the wall as caution number 1 comes out. Everybody getting very aggressive on these opening laps, and it's no surprise that the caution's out this early.
Well, to answer your question, Burchett has a lot of damage on the rear, and Pemberton had a lot of help putting that car into the wall.
Yeah, and that was...
It looked like they kind of met in the middle there. It was 52, and they just kind of met in the middle. He came down, the other guy come up.
No, it looked like it was actually Kyle...
57.
Kyle Frame getting into the side of him and... accidentally putting him into the wall in that number 57 DC solar machine. So Derek Pemberton, the first victim, well, the first big victim that brings out the first caution. But a couple of scary moments at the front there, guys.
Absolutely. Aaron Fowler right now has got to be thanking his lucky stars that this caution came out, because that's going to allow him at least 3 good laps to pit farm the hell out of that car to try to get any bit of damage fixed right now.
Well, same for Joe Burchett as well. He's got some damage on that car as well, so he's going to have to do a bit of pit farming as well. But don't count him out yet. He's known for making his way through the fields very quickly, so he's like the Keith he's like the Keith Mayata with the field.
I was going to say Frenchie, because we've seen Burchett drive cars that you just look at him and go, dude, put that through demolition derby before you tried to drive this race.
That's true. As they all bring it down pit road right now. Let's see who can get the advantage here off pit road. Adam Chapman is the leader bringing them down here. But Tyler Cox is there in second too, so going to have some tough competition to get out of pit road ahead of him.
Early fireworks at the Big M. That's what I was talking about. This is not as long of a race as last night, so guys are trying to make their moves early. And that's the result of a lot of torn up cars already.
Yeah, Burchett overshot his pit box. As Adam Chapman is just going to win the race off pit road ahead of Tyler Cox. Brian Littleton off 3rd, Rigney off 4th, Grandy off 5th, Pufferberger off 6th, and Trevathan off 7th. Joe Burchett staying in pit road to get some damage fixed, as is Aaron Fowler. You can see Derek Pemberton in the background getting some damage fixed, and I'm not sure why Nate Katila is still on pit road, but the rookie really spending a long time on that pit road right now, as here he comes out now.
I just watched the replay, busted for speeding in.
Ah, okay. Well, there is your leader, the number 15 of Adam Chapman. Definitely making some power moves to the front, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the iRacing sim, the way that it works is if you get busted on your way in, they hold you for, I believe it's 15 seconds per scoring loop that you...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that can hurt. If you're speeding out, they just under caution. If you're speeding out, they just give you an EOL.
Yeah. So Nate Katila was at the back anyway, so it wouldn't really have hurt him too much. Derek Pemberton still in pit road now. He's just leaving right now. But Joe Burchett and Aaron Fowler, the biggest two battlers in the early running of this race, at the back of the field already, and that's just got to be down to the aggressive nature of their driving in the first 5 or 6 laps.
Well, if you take a look at where it happened to, it happened in turn 3 where you're normally going to feel like Superman, and if you are 3 wide, you definitely don't want to be in that outside line, because the outside line coming through 3 and 4 is where all the marbles show up.
Absolutely, as they are 2 by 2 again. The lights are off in the pace car. Scott, why don't you get us going this time, dude?
I can handle that. Oh, see if we can get a little longer of a stint this time. See if we can't knock out some green flag laps here. These guys are a little excited a little early on in this race. 100-lap race, and already we've seen a lot going on. No resets here, so if they don't take care of it, we won't see a bunch of them at the end.
I mean, there was only 19 cars to start at in the first place, so yeah, get a lot of retirements. We're not going to have many cars left.
Yeah, we've already seen 2 in an accident and 3 others that have gotten damaged just from contact, so we'll see how those guys fare now. Waiting on the pace car to get off the track. There he goes. And the 15 didn't wait long. We're racing. Green flag's back out as well.
Yeah, and I dare say, I dare say you're going to see a lot of guys go to where we just saw Chapman restart from. That second line seems to be the preferred line, at least on restarts, and we've seen it work well under green flag action at the same time. Yeah,
we saw that last night as well with Adam Baker always choosing the outside line. So did Joe Mitchell, but this is a different league, and they're doing the same tactics here as Adam Chapman leads them into turn 3. Tyler Cox in 2nd, Brian Littleton 3rd, Lee Grandy up to 4th. Great run for him already. Jeremy Rigney on his return to the league in a nice little battle with Michael Trevarthen. Michael Trevarthen, remember, still trying to get his championship run back on track after having such a bad run these last few races.
We got more contact back here in the mid-pack. The 96 just crinkled up his right front because he got into the side of the 45. Now he's down on the line. They're stacking up back here.
Yeah, and that's Joe Burchett working the outside of Worrell and Skylar Allen. Skylar Allen backing out of it because it was a 3 wide situation for a moment there, but definitely Joe Burchett already trying to make his way for the field. As he works on the outside of David Worrell coming out of turn 4. Across the line, Tyler Cox is down on the inside, down on the apron. As they go across the line, Tyler Cox with the power move, and Tyler Cox to the front.
Yes, he has.
Don't count out Jeff Schmidt on the high side in 61. He's still hanging tough right there as well.
Yeah, Jeff Schmidt back.
Able to keep it wound up on the high side, just keeps his foot in it and just drives away from him.
Yes, there is Jeff Schmidt on the outside of David Worrell right now. Adam Chapman, meanwhile, falling a bit away from Tyler Cox, but he's got an angry pack of dogs behind him as Lee Grandy's got the inside move there on Brian Littleton. Lee Grandy trying to make his way to the front of the field as quickly as possible here. The man in the number 29 GoDaddy machine moves up to 3rd place. So great move there from Lee Grandy, and definitely a lot of close battling going on here as Jeremy Rigney still battling it out with Michael Trevarthen.
And meanwhile, the 14 just starting to stretch his legs a little bit here, starting to put a little distance on the rest of this pack. Got him battling back here side by side for 3rd place still. It's just slowing these guys down right now. They got the 15 just kind of roadblocking them up here.
Yeah, Adam Chapman not really being the fastest out there right now, but still got a couple of car lengths over Grandy and Littleton as they're battling out between themselves regardless. So he's not so worried at the moment because while they're battling, he's able to stay in the clean air. Meanwhile, Tyler Cox being at the front, this is what he does. As soon as he gets to the front, there's absolutely no stopping him unless you're his teammate.
And there are no stages in this league, correct?
There's no stages at all, though.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
so this could stay green the rest of the way. You never know. I've seen these Michigan races do that, so turns into a fuel strategy race. Last thing you want to do is let the leader just start driving away from you.
Brandon Pufferberger there, back in the 88 machine, back into the league after missing a couple of weeks. Good to see him out there. I'm too used to seeing him in a red car instead of a green car, though.
It's been so long since I've been here in Go Fast, I can't remember what these guys were driving.
Well, Brandon Pufferberger's usually driving a red car. I think it was a Slim Jim's car.
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing I do have to point out too is, you know, with what I'm watching with Lee Grantley right now, is he's all over the back bumper of Adam Chapman. It's good to see somebody with some talent driving for GoDaddy for once.
And somebody not from America that's driving a GoDaddy car as well, so that's a refreshing thing.
It's the first, isn't it?
Yeah.
What, somebody with talent actually driving for GoDaddy? Yeah, I think it is a first.
And somebody non-American.
Hey, get your hate mail coming, folks. That's I don't give crap at idon'tgiveacrap.com.
GoDaddy.
And that website was made on GoDaddy as well. But anyway, Lee Grandy moving up to second place now, just getting past Adam Chapman. Let's see if he can actually use that clean air now to try and close down the 14 of Tyler Cox. Adam Chapman actually picked up some speed now. He's behind Lee Grandy, using that draft to his advantage. Is actually staying to the rear fender of the 29 as the 29 scrapes the wall coming out of 2. And
another coat of paint, I think it definitely would have been in trouble, that's for sure.
Yeah, the 45 just made some heavy contact there in the right front. He's got good damage now. That car looks pretty beat on both sides, but yeah, heavy contact there coming out of 2 from 45.
That's David Worrell just being passed there by Nate Katila. Katila to the inside of the 45. And yeah, some very close battling at the back of the field there. As you just see Skylar Allen working on the back of Austin Marion there. There he goes to the inside of the 65. They're alongside each other as they go down the backstretch. Marion able to get more speed out of turn 2, but I'm thinking that damage on Skylar Allen's car is hurting him ever so slightly.
And Tyler Cox just caught the wall coming off of 2, so tell me the leader's still not driving to drive with a heavy foot right now.
If you beat it up too bad here, it will definitely slow you down and cost you some time. So these guys definitely want to take care of the race cars here at this big racetrack.
Yeah, and after what happened to Tyler Cox last week, I don't think he wants a repeat of like seeing the inside of the wall after, especially after it was a contact with the wall that ended his race last week when he got into an altercation with his own teammate. But yeah, Tyler Cox leading this thing. Lee Grandy in second now. Lee Grandy got a few good car lengths over second place now, third place, sorry, which is Adam Chapman, who's under a huge amount of pressure now from Brian Littleton.
And we've seen Chapman change his lineup too. He was running that second line, but now he's trying to protect that inside, especially coming through the trial portion of the track. Trying to, you know, if Littleton's going to get to him and try to get by him, he's going to have to do it the hard way, because aero push is definitely real in these cars.
Now we're already working on lap 21 of 100, and Scott, your wishes come true. We're getting on a nice green flag run now by the looks of things. Everybody getting settled down right now.
For shit, definitely feeling that damage on that race car back there. He's getting by the 35 right now, and Landon Lacey moving up a spot into 10th. But First Jet is definitely feeling the result of that damage earlier on in the race.
As is Fowler, as he's currently mired back in 17th.
Yeah, he took a bigger shot there when all that went down, and he rode the wall for a little while, so I'm not surprised by that. I expected him to have, you know, far more damage than Burchett, but I didn't expect Joe to be this slow out there as far as the damage holding him back, but it appears it is.
Well, Joe Bichette does have help out there as he gets it all wrong coming out of turn 2, almost loops it, loses the back end of the car. He has got his teammate Landon Lacey right behind him as well, so definitely got some help there. But even Landon Lacey can't get up to the back of Joe Bichette right now, so he must be having a few troubles there in that Mustang.
Well, if you take a look at Lacey's car, he's starting to make a Xfinity car look like a pavement modified, as the left front of that car is completely just caved in.
Everybody very spread out right now as we are now on lap 23. I'm just looking at Landon Lacey there, actually getting closer to his teammate Joe Bichette as they come out of turn 2. Joe Bichette, as Scott already mentioned, really struggling with the damage on that number 41 machine, not able to do anything with the speed that's in it. And usually we expect Joe Bichette to be making his way for the field, and it's just very hard to accept that he's actually struggling and not able to hold on to the back of Kyle Frame right now.
Well, it's where Bichette has the damage. It's on the tail of the right rear quarter panel, just behind the right rear tire. You know, that is probably the biggest aero piece on the car, and to have that caved in, and it's supposed to be convex, and right now it's concaved, and that's not helping at all. It's going to really tighten the car up, and we're watching him struggle a lot in the turns, as that car is it's got a ton of aero push right now, even in semi-clean air.
Absolutely, and if you take a close look at him as he comes out of turn 2, that car slightly fishtails as it comes out of turn 2. That's where the damage is at the back end, as you already mentioned, and that's where it's hurting him coming out of the corners, and it's losing him some time as Landon Lacey dive bombs it to the inside and takes away 10th place from Joe Bichette.
Well, what's going on is Bichette's car is pushing so hard in the center of the corner because of that damage, that he's got to put so much wheel into it that when he does get to the straightaway, it wants to the way it was best described to me is it's kind of a tighty loosey, kind of like driving an old log wagon feeling.
Where the place we got going on here, guys, is these 4 cars stacked right on top of each other. Jeremy Rigney trying to do everything he can to hold these guys off, but he is under attack now.
As Brandon Puffenbarger makes a power move to the inside of the 11. There goes Trevathan, and Adam Chapman falling backwards, I've just noticed as well. He's fallen back all the way to 7th place. As I'm guessing tyre wear is the issue here?
That's what I'm guessing.
But I would like to point out that if you ever are in need of a dinner menu, Heineken and Hunt Brothers is actually a good combination.
Heineken is my favorite beer.
I'll keep that in mind to keep it out of the fridge when you're here.
What do you mean keep it out of the fridge? I don't like my beer warm.
Thanks, Sam. That's the point on that one.
But anyway, Brandon Puffenbarger up to 4th place now after passing Jeremy Rigney. Jeremy Rigney getting stuck on that high side. Here comes Michael Trevathan jumping to the bottom line, and that was a strange pass. That was a lot of speed he carried going into turn 3 though, as he made it look that easy just getting around Brandon Puffenbarger.
Well, Puffenbarger touched the wall coming off of 2 and lost a ton of speed.
That might explain it then, as it looks like Lee Grandy is not losing too much time to Tyler Cox there in 2nd place, so doing very well to keep Cox on his toes right now.
He's been riding right there within a second, give or take a 10th or 2. He's doing a good job of letting him not drive away.
Keeping him honest, that's for sure. But what I notice is he's not losing as much time to Cox as Littleton is losing to him. So, you know, Cox and Granty are both starting to gap Brian Littleton.
As green flag pit stops will be becoming a factor very soon, as we're just starting lap 29 of 100. Last time the pit was on lap 7, guys. Do you reckon the green flag pit stops will be starting in the next 5 or 6 laps or so?
I'm thinking they should be able to do 30 on a fuel load.
That's what I was thinking. They'd go to probably lap 40 before they start pitting. Give or take a couple laps.
So we're looking at maybe a two two-stop strategy under green?
That's what I'm thinking.
We've been wrong before, but yeah, that would make the most sense to me right now anyways.
As still focused on Lee Grundy there in second place. Still keeping the gap at just 1 second between him and Tyler Cox. Good riding there for the 29. Brian Nuttleton got a nice few, got over a second gap to Michael Trevarthen there in 4th place. Jeremy Rigney back up to 5th place after getting round Adam Chapman. And Brandon Puffenbarger has had to take it down pit road. He's just sitting in his box now.
Say, the green flag stops are starting now because he just come down pit road.
And Aaron Fowler has been sitting on pit road for a couple of laps. Do we want to go out to Aaron and see what's going on?
Yeah, I'll let you see what is see if he's okay.
Aaron, Tony up in the booth. Do you have me, sir? Aaron Fowler, Tony up in the broadcast booth. Do you have me, sir? That would be a no.
Yeah, Aaron Fowler probably stepping away from his car for a minute just to get some damage repaired. So no surprise that he's probably taken the opportunity to take a bathroom break, as I'd probably do the same if I had a lot of damage on my car.
Not wrong.
I'm kind of surprised Puffenbarger hit it as early as he did. I didn't think the stops would start that soon.
Well, he had a little bit of mechanical issues.
Chapman's coming off now, so he pitted as well.
Yeah, Adam Chapman just coming out of pit road there as he's just gone a lap down. So a lot of the cars that have been struggling in the early running of this stint, taking it down pit road early. Not sure if it's going to help them in the long run, but we'll find out once the leaders start pitting. Just want to go back to a battle between Kyle Frame and Joe Bichette, side by side as they go through turns 3 and 4. Joe Bichette finally managed to find some speed in that car as Robert Dudley's got problems down on the apron. He brings it.
And Derek Pemberton has put it behind the wall.
And that's a shame there for Derek Pemberton. I mean, a big hit like he had, that was always going to be a race-ending deal. As there goes Joe Bichette to the inside of Kyle Frame, and he takes away the position. Joe Bichette up to 7th now after Puffenbarger and Chapman, after Dudley, Puffenbarger and Chapman all taking it pit side. So Joe Bichette back in the top 10, but for how long is anybody's guess, as Bichette gets the back end, stepping out slightly, going through 4, struggling to get that car under control, as there goes Kyle Frame to the inside now, across the line. That's going to help Kyle Frame get back up ahead of the 41 machine.
And here comes Chapman too. He's got those fresh tires. He's wanting to get by both these guys. They're slowing him down.
As they're still side by side coming out of 2, they need to get out of the way for Chapman.
3 wide.
Chapman's going to
go 3 wide.
Yeah, Chapman's going to breeze by these guys as Bichette actually did get back around Kyle Frame. As into turn 3 they go. And Chapman finally gets the clear. Yeah.
That held him up a little bit. Cost him a little bit of time. Kyle Frame's coming in, making his pit stop.
So green flag pit stops are underway now, as we've already mentioned. People that have been in so far are Robert Dudley, Adam Chapman, Brandon Puffenbarger, and now Kyle Frame brings it down pit side. So it's the guys near the back of the field that are starting to make their pit stops. But how long do you reckon before? Yeah. So the lead.
I wouldn't imagine for at least another 3 to 5 laps before we expect to see Tyler Cox.
Well, that's going to put it right in the window where we said we should see it, is, you know, right around 30 laps under green. You know, and with the lead that Cox has right now, almost crazy to try to pit this early. You know, stretch this as long as you can, and you know, kind of let the cards play out where they're going to fall. And
Tyler Cox has been well known to be able to save fuel and tires as long as possible, as he knows how to play the fuel game. So watch for him to try and stretch it out as long as possible, as Tony just mentioned. Got the gap between him and Lee Grundy up to 1.7 seconds now. 1.8 now, as I mentioned. But they're still good Grandy's about 3 seconds ahead of Littleton now, so Grandy's still able to keep that car pretty nicely wound up, as it looks like Littleton's in a nice little battle there. No, that's Adam Chapman making his way around him.
Yeah, but if you take a look right off the back of Littleton, there's less than a second between Littleton and Trevarthen.
There's Trevarthen trying to close that gap to the 80. As I've already mentioned here in tonight's broadcast, Trevarthen trying to get his championship run back on track, as he missed a couple of races and he's had some pretty bad runs lately as well. So a good result here would put him back in the championship hunt, as long-time championship leader Tyler Cox has been losing spots steadily in the last couple of races as well.
Well, speaking of Tyler Cox, here he comes to pit road. Second place is coming too. He come a lap earlier than I thought he would.
So Tyler Cox bringing it down pit side. So that's the first guy in the top 5 to blink, as well as Lee Grandy. I think maybe Lee Grandy and Tyler Cox might be trying to fight each other in pit stops as well as on track. So let's see who can get out of pit road first. They both get into their boxes quite nicely anyway.
It's going to be close.
I'm hearing someone turning their engine off in the corners.
Right, Cox got him.
Cox out first, Grandy out second. So let's see where that's going to put them, as Adam Chapman just coming through.
Littleton coming down pit road now.
And let's see if
Chapman's up to full speed, but they're going to catch him quickly. With them fresh tires, he'll definitely get by, even if he does pass them here.
Well, Adam Chapman,
he may not even get past them.
No, he didn't get past them, as they're already back up to full speed. And Adam Chapman slots back in third place, but he's got 7 lap older tyres than the other guys. As Tony just mentioned, Brian Littleton in pit road. Rigney in pit road, Lacey's in pit road, Worrell's in pit road too. A lot of people bringing it down now, as here comes Brian Littleton. Can he get out ahead of Cox? We'll find out now as he's making his way out of pit road. Let's see if he manages to keep to the blend line rule, and he does. And no, he comes out way behind Tyler Cox.
Oh, Trevathan's stretching his run out, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's just losing time to these guys now. He needs to come now. The longer he stays out, he's just going to lose time. It looks like he's coming now. So he took it to lap 40.
So Michael Trevathan bringing it down pit side. Let's see if he can gain any advantage here. I think because of how long he stayed out, he might have lost all that advantage he might have had beforehand. One person that did pass Tyler Cox from the pit stops was Brandon Puffenbarger. He is on 8 lap older tyres than Tyler Cox, but regardless, he's got a nice 4-second lead over the 14 right now.
And Austin Marion is your new leader. He's still out there. He hasn't made his pit stop yet, so he is the new leader. Wonder how long he'll stay out.
Well, 32 laps he's got on those tyres now. They've got to be screaming for help right now.
You know, the one thing I do have to give Austin credit for is he's got some of the most creative paint schemes in all of iRacing.
Here he comes.
Full fendered stock car racing.
Yeah, he actually like blanks out the number that iRacing gives you and puts his own number on the car, which is pretty creative in my book.
I enjoy what he does. I really do. And, you can find him on his Facebook page if you're interested in your own Team Metalhead paint scheme from Austin.
Absolutely, as he's in pit road right now. As we are going to go to watch Brandon Puffenbarger. He is in second place as Eric Minch is still out on track in the lead. Good to get a bonus point for leading a lap there in the number 32. But yeah, it's Eric Minch that's turning off his engine through the corners.
I'm trying to save as much fuel as possible
right now.
Yeah. As here comes Nate Katila to get round him. But he's absolutely sacrificing all that time to Brandon Puffenbarger, who's closing on him at a rate of knots right now. Speaking of closing on somebody, Tyler Cox is closing in on Puffenbarger as well, so we should be seeing a pass for the lead here very soon, as Tyler Cox is now within a second of Puffenbarger. It's going to get very close here as they come down the backstretch. Tyler Cox is going to be all over the back of that number 88 machine within the next corner or so, I should imagine.
Well, I just went back and looked at Puffenbarger's pit stop. It looked like he only took 2 tires.
Oh, he took 4. 14,
okay.
14.4 in his box, so...
Cox just got him.
Yeah, absolutely breezed by him as they go into turn 1, and I can only imagine it's only a matter of time before they catch Eric Minch as well. 1.8 seconds the gap between him and the 32. Remember, Minch has not stopped yet. So, Minch is going to be praying for a caution right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it. The way this race is, starting to shape up, I don't think he's going to get a caution.
Out of turn 4, here comes Tyler Cox to the outside of Eric Minch. Tyler Cox just going to make it look that easy as he goes to the outside.
Eric's looking like he's only going to try to do this on one more stop.
That's what I was thinking.
As there goes Cox to the outside of Eric Minch and takes the lead away. Just behind them, Brandon Puffenbarger is now under pressure from Lee Grandy. Lee Grandy going to try and get around the 88 now, as it looks like Puffenbarger's starting to struggle on those tyres already. So Puffenbarger relegated to 4th place. Brian Littleton back there in 5th. Carl Frame and Adam Chapman in a nice little battle, as here come Bichette and Dudley. Bichette's starting to make his moves now. I think he might have got that damage finally fixed on his car. As he's going to try and work the outside of Chapman. But here comes Robert Dudley to the inside. Robert Dudley is a lap down, so he's probably had to take it down pit road again. That's probably why he's got so much speed in that number 48 machine.
Hank Minch is out of fuel.
Oh no.
He's taking it on the backstretch. He's down off the track. He's out of fuel.
And this is the gamble you take when you try and stay out as long as you do. The danger of running out of fuel is always apparent. If you try and stay out that long, that is going to be the end result. So Eric Minch running out of fuel there, and it's going to put him at least 1 lap down now.
Yeah, he's going to get it back to his stall, but yeah, that's going to cost him dearly. 1 lap too far.
Oh, as Puffenbarger's in the wall. Puffenbarger smashing the wall on the exit of turn 2. That is going to really hurt his race now.
Yeah, he's slow now.
Completely pancaked the right side of that Hunt Brothers number 88.
So he is going to be easy prey for Brian Littleton when Brian Littleton finally gets onto the back of him. Brian Littleton actually got the freshest tyres out of the top 5. He's only got 8 laps on those tyres compared to Tyler Cox, Lee Grandy and Joe Bichette. They've got 10 laps on their tyres. Brandon Puffenbarger got 18 laps on his tyres. But
yeah,
also,
if you look, Littleton still has a little bit of damage on the right front of that Michelob Ultra number 82. So, it's going to be an uphill battle for Littleton, your pole sitter.
yeah, let's go. I just want to go back to Robert Dudley for a second, because I just want to bring up the fact that we do have a special event coming up very soon. And Scott, I just want to let you say a few words about that.
Yeah, it's going to be on Sunday, June 24th. It's going to be in the IR-18 at Michigan International Speedway. It's going to be called the Penny Dudley ALS Race for a Cure 250. And it's going to be a charity race for the disease ALS. And all the money that we raise for people that pay to enter the race, which I'm leaving it all up to the drivers, whatever they want to donate, of at least $10. And all money that we raise that night, we're going to give to Robert, and he's going to make a donation to ALS in his sister's name. And his sister passed away back in December of ALS, and that's why Robert wanted to put on this race. So if anyone out there is interested in running it, look up Top Fuel Racing on iRacing. We race every Wednesday night, but we'll be doing that on a Sunday night, June 24th. And like I said, it's a charity race, so it'll cost you a little bit of money to get in, but it's for a good cause.
Absolutely, and anything that goes towards ALS research and maybe hopefully finding a cure in the future is well worth it. And yeah, again, June 24th, 9 p.m. EST, we will be broadcasting that live here on Bofa Broadcasting. And yeah, if you can reach into the bottom of your pocket and just throw out a few dollars just to go towards ALS Association Alabama chapter, then yeah, please do so, as we'll be bringing you that special event via Top Fuel Racing as the Penny Dudley ALS Race for a Cure 250. Going back to night though, as Robert Dudley is currently running in 15th and 1 lap down the man that is behind this special event that's coming up. Meanwhile, let's go back to a battle that has been brewing between Brian Littleton and Brandon Puffenbarger. Actually, it's not been brewing. Brian Littleton has actually finally caught Brandon Puffenbarger and actually got round him now. So Brandon Puffenbarger, as Puffenbarger almost touches the wall again, he's really struggling now with that damage on his car.
There we go. My button wasn't working for a second. That's what I was talking about earlier, Sam. You get into the wall here and you beat it up too bad at this big racetrack, it's definitely going to cost you time. On them little short tracks, it doesn't hurt you as bad. But when you get out here in this big, spacious track, 2-mile track, these guys are just going to pull away from you, and that's what you're seeing now.
Yeah, and the next person to get onto the back of Puffenbarger will be Michael Trevathan. Trevathan now 0.3 of a second behind Puffenbarger. And there he goes. The number 2 is going to jump straight to the inside of the 88 as a side-by-side coming out of turn 4. But it's just pretty academic at this point, as there goes Trevathan to the inside, across the line, and up into 4th place now.
You got to remember, too, tires are playing a role as well, Sam, because Puffenbarger was one of the first ones to come down pit road. I think he was the first one, and it was early. It was on like lap 30, I think 30 or 31. So he came real early. And you're seeing a direct result of that.
Yeah, and tied in with that damage after hitting the wall on the outside of turn 2. Really going to hamper his race at this point. Let's go back to Joe Bichette. Joe Bichette still struggling in that number 41. He was up in the top 5 at one point, but he has been passed by Trevathan and his own teammate Landon Lacey. He's been relegated now back down to P7. And he's being chased down by Carl Frame, who's actually catching him at this point.
Yeah, we got one spinning. It's Adam Chapman on the front stretch. I don't think we're going to get a caution, though, because he got it from going completely sideways, and we are still green.
Now let's go back.
He's in the grass. He's in the grass now. He's trying to get it going here. He's got to be careful not to bring the caution out. Still trying to get it going. There he goes. I think we're going to be good here.
As he gets it going again. No, he's going to spin it.
Not. Yep, not yet. Still green. He's done a good job of keeping it down off the track and keeping it going so the caution does not come out, as we've been on a long green flag run here. We went back to green on lap number 8.
Yeah, and
we've been green ever since.
Yeah, and that was Tyler Cox and Lee Grandy that flashed by there in 1st and 2nd, so really didn't want to impede those two guys. Let's go back and see what happened to Adam Chapman. As we see him going through turns 3 and 4 there, the back end just stepped out. And that's what old tyres look like, guys, as he just loses it coming out of turn 4 and across the tri-oval.
Yeah, it's going to cost him dearly.
And he was
that was all down to the line that he was taking through that corner too. With the tires as old as they were, there's not enough rubber on that low line to make that car hang on that low.
And with the amount of laps he's been out on track as well, 24 laps on those tyres now. He's probably not got a lot of rubber left on those tyres, so if you take the wrong line going for a corner, of course the back end is just going to let go, and that's exactly what happened to Adam Chapman right there. Let's go to Brian Littleton, who is in a nice little battle with Michael Trevathan. Trevathan looking to the inside of the 80 now, as Trevathan's looking to move his way up into the top 3, and he does. Michael Trevathan to the inside and up to 3rd place now.
And that's what aero damage looks like, folks. As you notice, the right front fender on the 80 is just still caved right in, looking almost like a pavement modified at this point. Still trying to hang tough on the high side, though.
Absolutely. Michael Trevathan making that move look just easy. As you do see that damage right there on the 80. not looking very nice as he is now dropped down to 4th place, and Landon Lacey is all on his own in 5th place. And Brandon Pufferbarger just continues to fall backwards as he's now been passed by Landon Lacey and is slowly being caught by Joe Bichette now.
Yeah, some old tires. He's out there on dinosaur tires. I imagine we'll be seeing him coming to pit road here soon.
Well, he's on old tires, plus the right side of that car is completely just end-caked, so...
Yeah, that's not helping either.
Yeah, the aero push is real on the Hunt Brothers 88 right now.
Looks like when you get an order of pizza and you get it, and it looks like they set all the other pizzas on top of it before it got to you.
Oh, you mean the cheese stuck to the top of the box because you forgot to put the little dollhouse table on top of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
And they forgot your 2-liter to rub the salt in.
Wow, that escalated quickly. Again, get your email coming, folks. That's I don't give a crap at idon'tgivacrap.com.
Absolutely. As going back to Michael Trevathan there, not completely able to get away from Brian Littleton. Brian Littleton still able to keep within touching distance of the number 2, as it looks like they're closing in on Adam Chapman to put a lap on him now. So Chapman in a whole world of trouble. He's been out actually. He was the other guy that brought it down pit road at the same time as Brandon Pufferbarger. So as we already mentioned, there's no rubber left on those tyres. As he almost gets it wrong again coming out of turn 4. He's got to come down pit road soon, just as well as Brandon Pufferbarger.
Yeah, I would think those guys would be coming soon. I was just about to say the 41 back here, Joe Bichette. You know, he's been battling a beat-up race car all night, but he's slowly just picking them off, man, working his way towards that top 5 finish. Yeah,
I mean, like I said before, he was in the top 5, but has been passed by Trevathan and Lacey in the last 10 laps or so. So he's still struggling out there, but still holding on to a creditable 7th place right there. As look, going back to Carl Frame, he's going to have a nice little battle on his hands, as there is Jeremy Rigney and well, just Jeremy Rigney, as those 2 guys around him are lap cars. So Jeremy Rigney slowly closing in on the number 57 right now.
I look for green flag pit stops to begin here in the next 5 to 10 laps. I think guys will start coming down.
Yeah, as Pufferbarger is now in pit road as predicted.
Kind of didn't really have a choice at this point.
As I say, you knew he was coming sooner than everybody else because he pitted so much earlier than everybody else.
As he gets into his box there, I expect him to stay in there a tiny bit longer, as he is going to be trying to get some of that damage repaired on that number 88 machine. He's not had the easiest of returns to the league, has he?
Definitely not.
As he does come straight out of pit road again. He didn't get any of that damage fixed, but he is on fresh Mr. Feelgoods, and he's fueled up and ready to go again. As he just watch him there, see if he does cross the yellow line or not, and the answer is no. Following the rules correctly. Well done, Mr. Pufferbarger. As we're going to go back to Carl Frame, still being closed down by Jeremy Rigney. Jeremy Rigney being held up by Eric Minch right there. So Minch is actually stopping Jeremy Rigney from getting to the back of Frame, but Minch looks like he's on fresher tyres. That's why he's trying to go around those guys. As they come across the line, we're just on lap 63 of 100 right now. So we're way past halfway, and we're coming very quickly to the final quarter of this. Well, we're just approaching the last quarter of this race now.
Yeah, we've only had that one caution. It was way back in the first 10 laps of this race. They've kept it green ever since, so great race by these guys. I'm sure these guys are out there having fun. It's always fun to make green flag stops.
Yeah, 3 wide there as Eric Minch is causing a hell of a lot of trouble for Kyle Frame, as there goes Jeremy Rigney taking advantage of that to the inside of the 57. Jeremy Rigney up to P7 now, as Joe Bichette is up to 6th place. That's because of Brandon Pufferbarger taking it pit side, but Jeremy Rigney taking advantage of Eric Minch holding up Kyle Frame and stealing that P7 away from the 57.
Yeah, just to see who our biggest mover of the race is. We got 3 of them. They've all moved up 8 spots. Michael Trevathan from 11th to 3rd, Landon Lacey from 13th to 5th, and then Skylar Allen from 18th to 10th. So 3 guys have snatched 8 spots since the start of this race. And our biggest faller, Aaron Fowler, he started 2nd. He's already out of the race, took it behind the wall, and we'll see him another night. He'll finish 18th tonight.
Yeah, we're just focusing in on Skylar Allen there. He's currently occupying the last spot in the top 10, so still a good run for him regardless. He was struggling in hot lap sessions and even ending up on his lid at one point. So good to see him there running in the top 10. He's a good 7 seconds ahead of David Worrell. So he's got that top 10 pretty locked in right now, isn't he?
Yeah, for right now, he's picked up that right front damage that he's got there early on in the race. He ran into the back of somebody, but he's got Robert Dudley here closing in on him going low, but Dudley's back there in 17th place, a lap down.
And on fresher tires, but I'm looking at Worrell's car right now, and that front end looks like the old modifieds that they used to run in the yeah, they did. Modified division at Daytona back in the late 70s, early 80s. That's kind of what the nose of the 45 reminds me of right now.
This car looks like it belongs in that new game that's coming out. What's it called? Wreckfest?
Sure, go with that thought.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got
the leaders to be coming here soon within the next 5 laps.
Yeah, so we've got Kyle Frame in pit road right now. He is just pitted. He was just having that battle with Jeremy Rigney right now, so deciding to bring it down now as he is falling 1 lap down to 13th for now. Nobody else bringing it down just yet. Let's go to our leader Tyler Cox and see if he brings it down anytime soon.
Not this time.
Yeah, it's 2 seconds to the good over Lee Grandy as he's closing in on David Worrell to put a lap on the number 45. He's lapped up to P10 right now.
And I do want to point out, David Worrell is cutting the engine coming through the corners.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people do that. Eric Minch did that on his first stint, which really hurt him, I might add. He lost a lap after staying out for so long and taking it down pit side, and he's still 1 lap down and he still hasn't pit yet. And you heard it right there, folks. David Worrell did cut his engine off as here comes Tyler Cox, first of the top 5 to blink.
Yep, Grandy's coming with him.
So Cox and Granty in at the same time again. Let's take a look at Michael Trevathan. Trevathan stays out.
He's staying out. Yeah, he's staying out.
Littleton stays out. Lacey's in. Let's see if Rigney comes in.
Well, here's the thing. We're at that point where if you drive the car right and we stay green, you make it from here.
Absolutely, as we're just on lap 69 now of 100. As a lot of the top 10 now brought it down pit road. Tyler Cox there, just coming out of pit road now. He's going to be the first one out of pit road there. Lee Grandy just coming out as well now. Jeremy Rigney, he's not going to make it out before Landon Lacey, who comes out 3rd in that little group. As he loses a position to Brandon Puffenbarger, actually. So Puffenbarger back up to full speed. Not fast enough this time to get ahead of Tyler Cox like he did before, but that's owing to that damage on the right front of his car. But yeah, Tyler Cox back out there, but he's got Skylar Allen, Austin Marion, Brian Littleton, and Michael Trevathan who are yet to. Yeah, actually, here comes Littleton now.
Well, let me pose this question to you: if you're Littleton, Trevathan, Marion, or Allen, gamble on 2.
Not Brian Littleton, as it looks like he's taken 4 tyres and he's on his way out right now. So no 2-tyre strategy there for the number 80. David Worrell in pit road right now as well. Let's see if he can try and get some of that damage fixed as he overshoots his pit box. That's not going to help him at all, as he got it all wrong and he's still trying to get in his pit box. There he is. Katila is in pit road now as well in the 393. Still waiting for Michael Trevathan to bring it down pit road, and I believe... Like,
not this time.
no. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, yep. Yeah, he did. Didn't look like he was going to.
Waited to the last possible second to stay on the throttle to try to make sure that he didn't waste any time.
So that leaves Austin Marion out on track, or will he come out of... Yep, Marion's going to bring it in now. Will Skylar Allen be the next one to bring it in? Answer is no. Skylar Allen's going to stay out, so Skylar Allen's going to try and lead a lap here at Michigan International Speedway.
I don't blame him. Better get that bonus point. Every point counts.
And Trevathan did take 4 tires.
I don't think anybody took 2 tires at this point. I think they must have been watching last night's race, Scott, because we saw Adam Baker take 2 tires and it just failed. He failed miserably doing that.
Oh yeah, big time. And Skylar Allen had the 14 and Lee Granny coming up behind him, so they rocketed it on by. So much for leading that lap.
Yeah, he didn't get the bonus point there as he finally brings it down pit road. Realises that he left it too late and he was out for too long as he just about gets it slowed down for the commitment line. And into pit road. But Tyler Cox is back in the lead now, just over a second ahead of Lee Grandy. Those two have been in the top 2 for well over 65 laps now. So definitely good running for those two. Brandon Puffenbarger is up to 3rd place again, but he's on much older tyres again. So
Puffenbarger's going to need to come down pit road one more time. And with any luck, you know, it's not going to cost him a good finish to do so.
Absolutely, as he is there in 3rd place. Brian Littleton and Landon Lacey having a nice little battle there for the 4th spot, as they are a good 2 seconds ahead of Michael Trevathan. Trevathan, the biggest loser out of those green flag pit stops, as he is lost quite a few positions. Actually, he's lost 3 positions in those pit stops right there. Expected to make at least 1 up when Puffenbarger does eventually pit, so not so bad in that respect. But yeah, Trevathan definitely losing out in those pit stops.
Yeah, he might have stayed out a couple laps too long there.
Then Trevathan's actually being closed down by Joe Bichette now. Joe Bichette hoping to try and improve. He's not been higher than P5 since he had that incident with Aaron Fowler at the beginning of the race. He's hoping to make up some ground, but again, that damage on the 41 still hurting him, and he is really struggling to get any higher than P5 as Brandon Puffenbarger is back in pit road.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's back on pit road. That's definitely going to kill him. He's definitely going a lap down. Or pretty close to it.
I'm thinking he's taking the last stop. He knows he can make it from here, and he knows he couldn't make it if he stayed out, so he's taking the time now to just do it, get it out of the way, and call it good.
I'm wondering if he just took tyres and not fuel. Oh no, he took fuel as well.
He would have needed some fuel.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna need fuel and at least 2 tires.
Yeah, Brandon Puffenbarger did lose a lap in that pit stop as Tyler Cox still leads the way, but Lee Grandy is starting to close the gap now, guys. He's just over 0.6 of a second behind the 14 now.
Yeah, getting ever so closer.
Well, if you look, Cox has a little bit of damage on the nose of that car. Whereas Granty, he's clean in the GoDaddy 29.
Yeah, but Cox has pretty much had that the whole race. He got that early on.
Yeah, it's Granty.
It's just a matter of maybe Granty might be just picking it up a little bit now.
And how great would it be for Lee Grandy to pick up a win here? He's been really picking up his game the last few events, and now it's culminating to this as he now has a shot at a win here, as he's now just half a second behind Tyler Cox now. He's got that gap down from 1.2 seconds when they come out of pit road. So Grandy really putting his foot to the floor now as we are 23 laps to go here at Michigan International Speedway.
And like we talked about earlier, how good is it to see somebody that actually has skill driving for GoDaddy?
Grandy has 2 wins to Tyler's 13 here in the league, so you know you got the young buck chasing down the master in a sense.
Absolutely, as Grandy getting ever closer to the back of Tyler Cox. Actually, Tyler Cox responding that time round, gaining about 1/10 of a second over the 29, but Grandy is definitely coming at this point because he's not. He can taste the victory, and it's right there in front of him, 6/10 up the road.
Yeah, but he's not getting any closer. He's kind of hit that wall at 6/10, and they're running out of laps. Coming to 21 to go this time.
Yeah, we said that last night, and look what happened.
That's true. You never know how it's going to end, but he's got to get to him.
Meanwhile, let's go back to Michael Javarthan. He's got a nice battle shaping up between him, Brian Littleton, and Landon Lacey there, who is back in the top 5, running out the top 5. So there's a battle for 3rd place shaping up here between Javarthan, Littleton, and Lacey. Oh, as Lacey spins it! Lacey's around it, and it looks like the caution might come out, and it does! The caution is out. Landon Lacey spinning it off turn 4 and brings out caution number 2. That is going to shake everything up.
Yeah, well, I throw all the strategy out the window.
And I get to say these words. This changes everything.
That it does, my friend. That it does.
I've always wanted to say that.
As long as the pit crew changes my tires and fills it with gas, I don't care what it changes.
But Landon Lacey there, as you just saw on his screen there, just losing the back end coming out of turn 4, exactly like he did with Adam Chapman, just not able to get it below the white line in time for before the caution came out. So Landon Lacey, the cause of caution number 2 here tonight, and I will say I have been absolutely blown away by how well these guys have raced tonight.
It's been a pretty solid race. There hadn't been a lot of traffic out there. We only started with 19. We lost a couple guys early on, so not a lot of traffic, so not a lot of cautions, and pretty good race.
Yeah, Aaron Fowler and Derek Pemberton, our only two retirements here tonight at Michigan. Jeff Schmidt is 2 laps down. Eric Minch is 2 laps down. Everybody up to 10th place has been lapped. So Skylar Allen will be getting a lucky dog very, very soon, as he is the first car 1 lap down. So 20 laps to go, guys. Everything to play for now between these top runners.
Yeah, you can't make no mistakes on pit road now. That would be fatal.
Oh,
We're about to see the money stop.
Yeah, Grandy and Cox bringing it down pit road, but Trevarthen is in 2. You got actually all the lap cars staying out, so they're going to be going for a wave around.
Yeah, those are all the guys a lap down. I don't blame them. This is their only shot to get their lap back, so they were all hoping this would happen, and it did. And now they're going to need another quick one after this, run a couple laps, and then get another quick caution so they can come back in and get tires.
So everybody in pit road right now. Tyler Cox is going to be the first one off pit road, and Lee Grandy's going to come off second. It looks like Michael Javarthan's going to win it in 3rd. Brian Littleton just scrapes 4th place out of pit road ahead of Joe Bichette, and Jeremy Rigney is going to be 5th off pit road as well, as Kyle Frame, Landon Lacey and Austin Marion are still on pit road.
They'll have us a shootout. I like it. I want to see if Trevathan's got anything for these 2 guys up here. Now he's going to be caught up to him. Maybe Littleton. Maybe he's the dark horse.
Or maybe Joe Bichette might have actually found something in that car, and maybe he could get a win tonight.
Yeah, it's a matter of how much damage did it get fixed and how much speed does that car carry. We've seen him struggle for speed all night.
Yeah, and even Mike Grand.
Unfortunate for Joe, because he's usually pretty strong and always a contender, but I just don't know if that car is going to allow it on this night.
Another outsider there would be Jeremy Rigney. He's there in the number 11 Heineken machine. He's been running pretty strong in the top 10 all night long as well. Skylar Allen, he probably won't be a factor in this. He's got too much damage on the front end of that car. He probably won't have the speed in that machine.
But he's got plenty of time to pit farm it, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the overtake 96.
Absolutely. Yes. It looks like we're going to have quite a few cars getting back on the lead lap. We're going to be once they all get all together and get all sorted out, they're going to be having 12 cars back on the lead lap, with Adam Chapman, Robert Dudley, Eric Minch and Jeff Schmidt will only be 1 lap down once they get their wave arounds.
Chapman's not getting a wave around, so because he's on pit road right now, as is Worrell, and Dudley's just coming off pit road now, so not too many guys. The only one that actually is staying out for the wave around is the 32 of Minch.
Oh, Schmidt's there as well.
And Jeff Schmidt, yeah.
Actually, I just want to go to the chat there and see if his mum's in there tonight. Because we haven't seen Jeff Schmidt's mum in a while.
Hi, Mom.
We haven't seen Jeff Schmidt's mum in a while. Just had a load of people in the chat going Blue Raid. I'm not sure what that's about. I just want to give a shout out to Streamer Elite, Gamer Girl Blue, Epic Salt Den and Coco Gamer. Good to see you all there in the chat and enjoying the show. If you like what you see, then please click the like button. If you want to see more and you're interested in, well, want to see more, then just hit the subscribe button and tap that little bell as well if you want to get notifications of when we next go live. As they're 2x2 again. Tony, why don't you get us going this time, buddy?
Lindsley Wilson Blue Raiders.
I heard Raiders.
No.
The Raiders.
No.
No.
F your feelings. So anyways, Cox taking the inside line. Granty going to be lining up on the outside, the preferred line on the restarts that we've seen so far. They got Trevarthen and Littleton stalking there in the second row. So it's going to be interesting to see how this restart plays out with Cox taking that inside line. Yes, he does have fresher tires, but I don't know how much rubber's been laid down on that inside line as the field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Lee Granty is going to need the restart of his career right now, as the pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn onto pit road. And there it goes, and here we go back to green. And unfortunately, Granty slightly asleep at the switch as Trevarthen able to get a great jump from the inside of the second row.
I don't know why he hung back so far. You see how far back he was hanging? He was like a row back instead of being up next to the 14. He was almost a full row back, and it's going to cost him second place. Oh, he's sliding up. He didn't clear him. Here comes Granty. Oh, he lost it coming off the corner a little bit. He may get attacked here by Littleton.
Yeah, Littleton to the inside of Lee Grandy as he takes away third place. Grandy not getting the best start he wanted there, as it looks like Joe Brichette's lost a position as well. No speed in that 41. He's lost a position to Jeremy Rigney, but Tyler Cox using the advantage of people battling behind him to get away from everybody. He's already half a second up the road, guys.
Yeah, the 29 gave it away on the restart. That's a tough break.
It's now down to Michael Trevarthen to try and close him down. Remember, Trevarthen's not had the best of luck lately, so hopefully... as Grandy's in the wall!
Saved it. Saved it. Danica wouldn't have saved it, but he did.
I said, you got to have somebody that knows what the hell they're doing behind the wheel of the GoDaddy car, and we're still green.
It's a damn shame that happened to him, man. When it rains, it pours, and boy, I bet he's angry now.
Yeah, as he's got some severe damage on the side of that number 29 machine after absolutely trying to take down the turn 2 wall. But again, Tyler Cox half a second up the road ahead of Michael Trevarthen in second. Trevarthen not out of the woods yet, as he's still got a slight bit of pressure from Brian Littleton. And looks like Adam Chapman's trying to get his lap back the hard way, as he's making his way through the field.
Yeah, I just don't know if anybody's going to be able to get back to the 14's bumper now. Oh, well,
the caution's out. Caution. Lee Grandy again. Lee Grandy's in trouble.
Man.
Let's go back and see what happened to the 29 there. He's battling it out with David Worrell. Going down the backstretch. David Worrell gets around him. Austin Marion will be the next one to try and get around him. Oh, it was a touch from Skylar Allen that did it. Got up into the left rear quarter panel, and that was the end of that. Lee Grandy going up into the wall and bringing out caution number 3.
Yeah, he finished him off.
That's a rough one. All right, so I have deciphered what the hashtag is that's been showing up in the YouTube chat, and that would be the NAIA National Champion. Try to get the name of the school right here. Out of the Mid-South Conference. Lindsley Wilson Blue Raiders.
Nice.
And what did they win?
The NAIA Women's Volleyball Championship with a perfect 35 and OC. Congratulations, ladies.
Right on. That's worth mentioning.
Absolutely. And a response from Jeff Schmidt's mom. She says, "I'm always here, LOL." So, Gene, glad that you could join us, and hope you're enjoying the show. I'm sorry your son's not having the best of races tonight, but I'm sure you're entertained either way. As they've just been in pit road again, Jeremy Rigney staying out, as did Nate Katila and Michael Trevarthen staying out as well. No, I take that back. Michael Trevarthen actually won the race off pit road. Because Michael Trevarthen only took 2 tyres. So...
Yeah, the 2-tire deal just, it don't work.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how that plays out.
Of course, when we saw it last night, it was a much longer stint that he had been out there on him, but still, I just don't see it working for the guys that take 4. Not here.
Yeah, so we're looking at Skylar Allen there. He was the other one that only took 2 tyres here on that last pit stop. As that was... that's got to be the money stop right there, because with 12 laps to go now, 11 laps to go, they can't really... They surely won't bring it
down pit road.
Skylar Allen.
No, that's Adam Chapman coming down pit road. And David Worrell.
Hey, who the hell was in the orange car? David Worrell, that was the one I saw going down.
Ah, yeah. Speaking of orange cars, we got the new kid, Nate Katila, up there in 2nd place, deciding to stay out on 20-lap older tyres, guys. Rookie mistake?
Getting the lap back, I'm thinking track position is what he's going for right now.
Yeah, as Skylar just messaged me, he said he only took left tyres, so...
Alright, so we got 2 gamblers right now.
Somebody's
with
been...
Trevarthen and Allen only taking 2. And then you got Rigney and Kotila both staying out. So, yeah, this one plays out.
Jeremy
There's going to
Rigney...
be some other drivers around him that are going to be nervous because of all that. 14 being one of them.
Well, Jeremy Rigney is actually not in as bad shape as you think he would be. He's only got 7 laps older tyres than Michael Trevarthen. Well, actually, Michael Trevarthen's only got 2 fresh tyres on his car, so he might be in just as much trouble. So if Tyler Cox wants to win this thing, he's got to make his way around 3 more cars before the end of this thing, and he's still got to fend off Brian Littleton and Joe Bichette and everybody else behind him.
Yeah. Just can't get caught up in somebody else's mess at this point. That's what Tyler's got to worry about. He's got the best tires out there. He knows he's got the fastest car. So he's just got to avoid all the carnage for a couple laps, and it's his race to win.
Absolutely.
As the 2x2 one more time, Scott, I'm going to give you the privilege of getting us going for one more time, for the last time.
Yeehaw. I love racing here. Top Fuel's coming here in a couple of weeks. I can't wait, Sam.
Yeah, for the charity race to raise awareness for, to raise some money for the ALS fund.
We got a league race coming up too. We got 2 Michigan races coming up.
Oh wow, I like Michigan.
Oh, I love this place. It's fast.
It's also dangerous in the wrong hands.
That's very true. Very true.
So the Top Fuel race, expect people like Tony Pizarro and Michael Justin to turn up for that one.
Justin Michael?
Justin Michael, that's the one.
And Michael Jeans.
Michael Jeans will probably be there. Michael Jeans is coming back, I think, full-time next season.
I wonder why. he wants his title back.
It's go time.
Waiting on that pace car. They're creeping. Here we go. Still waiting.
Oh no!
And everybody avoided him. Oh no, Skylar Allen did. Skylar Allen's in it. I think he might have spun his own tires.
Yeah, he wasn't as he was in an incident all by himself. Let's go.
393 spun the hell out of them old tires.
And that's what always going to be the danger. I mean, he was on 22 lap older tires, and this is the end result, guys. This is what happens when you're on older tires and you try and get him going early. That's the end result of that. And unfortunately, Nate Katila having a bit of a baptism of fire there. Welcome to the league, son.
That was the 4th of July in June.
Well, Flag Day's next week.
He got an early start. He smoked them bad boys up.
Oh my God! How many holidays do you guys have? Too many? Too many.
Way too many. Too many and not enough.
Too many that I don't get paid for.
I mean, we have over here. We have.
This is about to be one of those cluster forming laps because the entire field didn't get by pit road. So it's that pace car glitch.
Yeah.
We're in trouble, kids.
So Ligo,
who got snake bit? It'll let us know when they come back around this time.
As there goes the pace car. They're going to close up to the pace car now. As
Watch them restart and see if the yellow came out before the leader got to the start-finish line to see if we are going to have an effed up finish.
I'm showing everybody still on the lead lap that was on the lead lap.
Yeah, me too.
That's not what I mean.
Dudley's getting a wave.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. The yellow came out. The leader had not gotten to the start-finish line yet.
Oh, no.
So what's he telling them?
This is going to be one of those times where we're probably going to stay single file for about 5 laps. If we go back to green, it's going to be single file.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So if it doesn't go back to green, then Jeremy Rigney
stole it.
Yeah.
Like a thief in the night. But we got 7 laps left, so let's not get ahead of ourselves here, because I'm thinking we may go back to green here. They may get this sorted out one way or another.
Absolutely.
You never know what you're going to see with this simulator.
So Jeremy Rigney, your leader right now. Michael Trevathan in second. Tyler Cox sitting in third there. Led the most laps tonight. Brian Littleton in fourth. Joe Bichette in the top five, despite the damage on his car. Carl Frame is sixth. Austin Marion seventh. Brandon Puffenbarger. How lucky he is that we've had all these cautions late on in the race. He's still there in the top 10. Lee Granty managing to get back on the lead lap as well. Even though he's got a severely damaged car, he's still in the top 10. Landon Lacey brought out caution number 3. He's in 10th. Adam Chapman in 11th. Nate Katila, who brought out this caution, is in 12th. Robert Dudley 13th. And Skylar Allen is in 14th. David Worrell 15th, 1 lap down. Jeff Schmidt is in 16th, 1 lap down. And last car running is Eric Minch, also 1 lap down. That's a rundown of your field as we are on 7 laps to go. We're on lap 94 of 100. And it looks like they're all okay. I mean, they're not getting waved around the pace car like they usually do when that glitch happens.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Levin definitely hanging way back.
User in your channel timed out.
Uh-oh.
As we have lost Tony Trapasso for the time being. He will try and get back as quickly as possible. Obviously, he's not at his usual rig, so he's probably going to be experiencing a few connection problems here tonight. Luckily, you're not having the same problems tonight, Scott.
Yeah, really, after last night, man. I can't believe I didn't fall out of last night's race. Well, we'll see if the lights go out here.
And it looks
Lights are still on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Tony fell through in the room now, too. Well, we'll start getting worried if they don't go out on the next lap.
Well, either way, it's going to be a shootout to the end. As if the lights go out this time round, we're going to have 4 laps to go when the green does eventually drop. And it's going to be absolute mayhem, I think.
Oh, yeah. If we get a green flag, I think it'll definitely be chaos. Still the 14's race. If he can get by these 2 in front of him, he's got, 4 fresh tires. Trevathan's got 2 fresh tires. And did the 11 take any tires?
No, he's still on 13-lap old tires.
That's not too bad. That's not like the 323 who was on dinosaur tires. But almost as bad.
And that was the difference there when that restart. I mean, that was always going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Being on 20-plus lap tires and trying to get it, trying to plant it to the floor like that, it's always going to turn the car around. And unfortunately, yeah, it was a rookie mistake, and he'll learn from that. It was his first race tonight, so
thankfully nobody hit it.
Well, Skylar Allen made his own mistake as well at the same point, so.
Yeah, but nobody hit the 323 though because he made that mistake.
That's true.
Usually when that happens, you'll see 2 or 3 guys plow into him.
It looks like the lights are going to go off the pace car this time round. As welcome back, Tony.
Yeah, I'll be so happy when I can get back on my own rig.
Lights are out. We get another caution. It'll end under caution. So that's what these guys are hoping for. That's what the 11's hoping for. He's hoping somebody just wads it up. Caution comes right back out.
Not just the 11, but Michael Trevathan as well. Remember, he only took 2 tires on that last pit stop, so he's going to be hoping to get a decent start here and hope for a caution to come out, or if he can stay ahead of Tyler Cox and Brian Littleton. Remember, Littleton took 4 tires as well. Littleton has been strong here. He was the pole sitter here at Michigan, so no surprise that he's still up there in the top 4. Joe Bichette remains to be seen if he can actually get his way to the front because he's got that damage on his car. Carl Frame, he's a rank outsider as well because he's been running pretty strong in the top 10 too.
Yeah, no telling who will win this race, Sam. After what we've seen this week, no telling who will win it.
As they come into turn 3 now, we're getting ready to go, ready to get them going one more time here at Michigan. And this is getting exciting now. This will
definitely be the last time. Caution comes out and it's over.
Absolutely, as they come into turn 4 now. Just focusing there on Jeremy Rigney, the leader at this point, as we're going to get them going one more time. Waiting for the pace car to make that hard left turn. One last time. As there goes the pace car. And away we go. 4 laps to go on the restart. And who's going to get the win out of this one? No more restarts after this one. As Jeremy Rigney gets off to a decent start there. But look at Tyler Cox already harassing the back of the number 2 as they go into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's trying to come down and close the door on him, but he wasn't able to do so yet. But wow, look at the 14 slide up. Oh, wow, the 2 may get this thing. 14 lost a lot of momentum off the corner. Here comes Joe Burchett. He's going to try to make a 3 wide. Not holding back any punches now. Damaged race car, no, he's making the move. Look at Kyle Frame out of nowhere. Where'd he come from?
Kyle Frame up to 3rd place. He's working on the inside of the 11 of Jeremy Rigney. Going to try and work his way up to 2nd place. Tyler Cox has recollected his car again now. He's working on the outside of Frame. We're not going to make the move possible this time, as there is Jeremy Rigney blocking his path right now. Frame and Rigney side by side as they go through turns 1 and 2. But Michael Trevarthen already half a second of the run into going 3 wide out of turn 2 on the backstretch. Tyler Cox getting bumped on down to the apron as he has to back out of it. And there it goes! There it goes, and is around. Caution's going to come out, and Michael Trevarthen is going to win here at Michigan. Caution comes out one front. Yes, Jeremy Rigney's going to come across the line for 2nd. Well, we're not going to count our we're not going to count our chickens just yet before they've hatched, because we've still got 2 more laps to make around before the checker flag comes out. But unless the wheels fall off it, Michael Trevarthen is going to be your winner here tonight at Michigan. Jeremy Rigney is going to come across come home for 2nd place. What a result there for the 11.
Wow, no doubt. Took a gamble and it paid off for him. What a finish, man. What a finish. Another good one.
Yes, Kyle Frame.
Austin Marion just caught a race car to the face, and then Adam Chapman, having nowhere to go, catches Austin Marion to the face.
Let's go back and watch that. We've just focused on Adam Chapman there. Austin Marion there, as we're just watching the incident there. You can see Tyler Cox on the left side of your screen just ducking down to the apron there as he gets up to the back of Kyle Frame and spins him round, and wow, yeah, that's just... Brandon Puffenbarger was in that too. Definitely a first you say it then you do it kind of moment. Am I right, Tony?
Yeah, and I don't think it's over with yet, because I'm following the 57, wondering why he was going so quick. Going to be interesting to see how this one finishes, if there's any post-race shenaniganry.
Well, we're just focusing on the number 2 right now, Michael Trevarthen, on the final lap. Now the white flag is out with the yellow flag, so one more circulation for the number 2, and he is going to claim the win tonight. And my driver of the night definitely going to be Jeremy Rigney. Made the strategy work, and yeah, it wasn't a win tonight, but definitely managed to keep it up there for 2nd place.
How about Michael Trevarthen starting 11th and winning the damn thing?
Yeah, so
pretty good too.
Not just the race winner, but your biggest mover here tonight, making up 10 places up to the lead and ultimately winning those things. Made the 2-tire strategy actually working in his favour this time.
I was just about to say that.
As they work their way out of turn 4 now. One last time. As they come towards the line, Michael Trevarthen has been looking for this win all season, and he's finally got it under auspicious circumstances with the cars behind him. But Trevarthen claims the victory here at Michigan. 2nd is Jeremy Rigney. 3rd is Tyler Cox. 4th, Brian Littleton. Kyle Frame will still come across the line for 5th. Brandon Puffenbarger rebounding for 6th. 7th, and struggling all night, was Joe Burchett. 8th, Landon Lacey. 9th, Adam Chapman. And rounding out the top 10, rebounding for a top 10, was Lee Grandy. So a bit of redemption there for the 29, but not what he wanted here tonight. But Michael Trevathan is the man of the moment here tonight. We'll get interviews underway in just a second. We're just going to let him do a few burnouts first before we go to those interviews.
Yeah, I'll let you guys take care of the interviews. Or maybe not.
Or maybe it'll just be me. As we're looking at our race winner there, Mr. Michael Trevathan in the number 2. Gonna burn him down. As that is our race winner, Mr. Michael Trevathan. Gonna get some interviews underway there right now, as we are going to go straight to speak to our third place finisher, Tyler Cox. Tyler, heartbreak at the end there, sir. Talk us through what happened there.
Mike took 2 tires, got lucky with cautions fells. Cautions fell his way. Can't blame that on him. But ended up 3rd. I think I might have gotten into Kyle there, which if I did, I apologize. Wasn't meant to get into him. If I did, and spin him out there, I'll take 100% responsibility for that if it was my fault. But just kind of disappointing to end up 3rd.
It's a lot better than the heartbreak he suffered last week. So 3rd place is definitely an improvement after what happened last week. But Tyler, a strong race all night tonight. Led the most laps here tonight, and obviously it didn't pay off for you there, as Jeremy and Mike managed to get out ahead of you. What are your thoughts on the car tonight and the race? It was very clean for the most part.
Yeah, it was a good race. Car was pretty loose on a longer run. If you could keep the rear tires on it, you were definitely fast, and that's what I tried to focus on. I was hoping it was actually going to go green to the end from the final pit stop, because I had set myself up just so I was a lap good on fuel, and then the caution ended up coming out, which kind of played hands into the race, but that's okay. I mean, third's a good points night. It's just not a win like we were hoping for.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely unfortunate there to not get the win here tonight. But 3rd place was still a good result, Tyler. Moving on to the next race, I believe you guys are at Sonoma next. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't. Do we race Xfinity there? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'll find out from Skylar. But looking ahead to the next race, what are your thoughts on that one?
Same thing as every week. Just try to go in, get a win, run as hard as I can every week, and try to win every race I can.
Okay, and finally, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out for tonight's result?
Yeah, you guys for broadcasting always. You guys do a fantastic job. My sponsor, Big Dog Concrete, Team Overtake, everybody on there. Ryan Kuhn, he helps me out a lot. Kids like my brother, so I'd like to give a shout out to him and his girlfriend Kylie. Just everybody that helps me out. Max Cookson, my mom and dad. It's all a big family thing. So, go fast, Skyler. He puts on a great league, and yeah, just congrats to Mike too for winning tonight.
Okay, Tyler, congratulations on the 3rd place, and we'll see you at the next race.
Thank you, guys.
As that was our 3rd place finisher, Tyler Cox. Scott, are you up to do an interview? Or not? I'll do it. Anyway, joining us in the booth is our 2nd place finisher, Mr. Jeremy Rigney. Jeremy, tyre strategy paying off at the end there. Not the result you wanted, because you were really gunning for a win there, but 2nd place, you can't really complain about that, right?
Heck no, Sam. Dude, this is awesome. The gamble that I took paid off, A little bit of home cooking tonight. I'm from Michigan. I'm from the west side of the state, and things just worked out for me tonight.
and workout it did. I mean, making your return to the league this week in that number 11 Heineken machine. You were a witness to a lot of the shenanigans that are going on around you. What was your take on that? And I'm guessing that was pretty worrying for you right there as the guys were wrecking behind you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on the opposite end of that a couple times, and this time I had a little luck on my side, and I did get a little damage, but I was still able to make it through.
And yeah, you made it through and claimed a very popular second place here tonight. Like I said, not getting the win here tonight, but definitely a good result for you tonight. Jeremy, looking ahead to the next race, are you gonna be able to make it to that one, or are you gonna take a week off?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I need to bask in this second place being a part-time driver. Maybe I'll pick up some sponsorship and be back next week.
Well, that'd be great. And finally, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to for tonight's result?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody tonight racing. I thought it was a lot of fun. We had a little bit of shenanigans, but that's racing. And I'd just like to thank the Go Fast Racing League and Skylar and Bofa. I think you guys are one of the best in the business. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Jeremy, we'll hopefully see you at the next race, and congratulations on second place.
All right, thanks, buddy.
That was our second place finisher, Mr. Jeremy Rigney. Now joining me in the booth is a very happy man. Finally got the monkey off his back, and that is Mr. Mike Travath. And Mike, am I right in saying you're probably the happiest man out there right now?
Oh, most definitely. Like I said, it's been a long time coming. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. So, yeah, finally got that one off my back.
Yeah, and after all the bad luck you've been having over the past few events, I mean, just having such terrible luck, and to finally pull the win off there and use the tyre strategy to your advantage, I bet you were happy to see that caution come out at the end with everybody wrecking out behind you.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, we were on a fuel strategy there, and doing the calculations, I think I was the only car, towards the top 5 that had enough fuel to finish on that last stop. The caution came out. Obviously, Tyler's fast. So, like I said, hats off to him and Brian Littleton and Rigney. Like I said, gave it all I wanted. But, like I said, it worked out. And, yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, on that last pit stop, you took 2 tyres there to catapult your way to the front. It turned out to be the right strategy at the time in the end, but were you kind of considering that or 4 tyres when you made that pit stop?
Yeah, I knew I was a sitting duck with 2 because I believe Tyler and Littleton took 4. So, like I said, had we have gotten 3 to 4 or 5 lap run there, I was a sitting duck either way. But either way, like I said, great race, great win. Couldn't be happier.
Well, moving on to the next event, Mike. What are your thoughts going to the next race? Because I'm not sure where we are next time. Is it Sonoma we're at next?
Yeah, I'm not real sure. Like I said, I'm pretty comfortable wherever we go. Like I said, had some bad luck here and there. Always quick, always running top 5, top 10. So, like I said, nothing to take away from the team or, from the car itself. Like I said, just want to be there towards the end for the chase and hopefully can pull one out.
Well, you're definitely
Actually, Iowa.
It's Iowa next. Okay, so even more interesting. But anyway, well, yeah. What are your thoughts on Iowa? Because going back to short track racing again.
Yeah, we ran trucks there last night. I think it was top 3, top 4, somewhere in there. So obviously, I still have a little bit of work to do on that track, but definitely more comfortable 1.5 miles, and obviously some of the bigger tracks. Road courses can be a crapshoot either way. Obviously, super speedways same. So, like I said, I'm pretty comfortable wherever we go. So we'll hopefully get a couple more wins on the belt for this year and try to move forward.
Yeah, and with the win tonight, you definitely pointed your way into the chase come the end of the season. Well, Mike, is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's win?
Yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to both for broadcasting, everything you guys do. Like I said, you put a lot of time and energy into these leagues, and appreciate everything you guys put forth effort. Skyler for everything he does and the admins at Go Fast Racing. Without that, we wouldn't be here. So, like I said, my team, Metalhead Motorsports, Eric Minch, Jeff Schmidt, Austin Marion, Dylan Vos, we put a lot of seat time in the car to try to get, click off some of these wins. And without a team effort, obviously wouldn't be here. So, like I said, thanks to everybody.
Okay, Mike, congratulations on the win tonight, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
And that was our race winner, Mr. Mike Trevathan. Definitely a very happy man out there in that number 2 machine. Well, let's go to tonight's results for the race. Michael Trevathan, just as I mentioned, bringing home the win. Jeremy Rigney, an extremely happy individual there, coming home in 2nd place. 3rd place was Tyler Cox. 4th, Brian Littleton. Kyle Frame, despite spinning out and bringing out the final caution, came home in 5th place. 6th was Brandon Puffenbarger. 7th, Joe Burchett with a damaged car. 8th, Landon Lacey. 9th was Adam Chapman, and rebounding for 10th place was Lee Grandy.
Skylar Allen Sr. comes home 11th. Robert Dudley 12th. Nate Catilia comes home 13th. Austin Marion 14th. Jeff Schmidt 15th. He was the last car in the lead lap. Eric Minch finishes a lap down in 16th. David Worrell a lap down in 17th. Aaron Fowler 18th, and Derek Pemberton was the first man out tonight. Only completed 14 laps and finished 19th tonight.
Yeah, and Ryan Robertson not taking the green tonight despite being in the session. So 19 cars did take the green, only 15 finished. So, well, 17 still finished. So definitely a good run here for most of the drivers here tonight. Well, that is going to do it here tonight, as we are done with tonight's broadcast. Scott, what are your final thoughts on tonight's race?
Pretty solid race. All in all, they kept it green for pretty much the entire race. We had a couple cautions there at the end, but all in all, pretty good race. And can't wait to see them next week at Iowa and see how it goes there. They got a week off after Iowa, so we'll be back at Iowa, and then we'll be off for a week.
Absolutely, as we are now going to go to our close show moment, as that is going to do it here tonight for Go Fast Racing. Another great race in the books here for the Grand National Series. Tomorrow night we're going to be back here again with the Major League Esports Series. Sunday we are going to be broadcasting again for the Indy Elite Series as they go to Texas in the IR18s. Monday we're back with the Paskey's Cardiac Truck Series as they are at another track. I don't know where they are. Tuesday we're off. Wednesday we're back with Top Fuel Racing as they go east to the Japanese track known as Motegi Twin Ring. And then Thursday we are off again. Friday we're back here in Iowa. But that is going to do it here tonight for Go Fast Racing and for us. So all that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you tomorrow night back here again from Michigan.
Have a good weekend, everybody.